You know, I got to thinking before I leave, I've been wanting to do an EDC video for a while. And one thing that I think is missing from most everyday carry videos is where everything, looking at everything as you're carrying it, or basically where is it placed on your body? What does it look like? Everybody lays their stuff out and talks about what they're carrying, but they don't show where and how it's lined up because your belt and your pockets and everything can get you could just get loaded down with everything and sometimes it's hard to when I'm seeing the amount of things that people have on them on a daily basis. I am curious to see where is that at, what pocket's that in, what all goes in that pocket, that type thing. So I've been wanting to do this for a while. I've actually have done it. I've done a few videos and I threw them out because it never worked out. I'm itching. We were in the garden today and I'm itching all over. So if this works, I'll load it up. If not, then I'll try again later. So I was just going to go through and I'll explain what is always on me and what is only with me sometimes and blah blah blah. So where to start? I'll just start emptying my pockets and I'll try and slow down, but not make it too long. In my left pocket, this camera's reversed, but in my left pocket, I've always got my flashlight. Now, if a flashlight, not always this one, my other one just went down, my stream light just went down, so this is a 511, and if it's not in my left, I'm gonna have to adjust the camera here. If it's not in my left pocket right here, it's in on my multi-tool case shoved down in a pocket, one or the other. But when I carry this multi-tool, I don't have that option, so it goes in the left pocket. And so there's that. Also in my left pocket, I carry a little mini sewing kit, an easy lap sharpener to touch up my blades, Bic lighter, uh, pen, that's the bullet pen. I've had several of those. I keep losing them. I always go get me another one, but I've always got an ink pen in my pocket. And then I've got a pair of tweezers. This is just a case that the tweezers ride in. A pair of tweezers, two 8-penny double-headed nails, and there's always some hair ties wrapped around that because I've got several daughters. And early on, I realized how valuable having hair ties can be for a dad. If not the most valuable thing I carry, one of them, hair ties. That's all in my, those are in my left pocket, as well as I carry either in my left or my right, I've always got some earplugs, which I usually have in a little round case, but I shattered it, and so I got to put them in something else. But that's for sleeping and that's for shooting when I don't have my actual ears. So let me set this down without everything rolling off. That's my left pocket, always. That stuff is always in my left pocket. There might be some other things in my left pocket, but those things are always there. My right pocket I leave open for my phone. Here's that case of earplugs that shattered. So there's 4 earplugs in that, but that's usually what's in my pocket. Those other ones, I don't know what. Actually, I guess when that broke, these fell out of that, and I just stuffed them in my other pocket. So that's either in one or the other pocket. I've got some. What is this? Floss, dental floss. I never carry dental floss. I don't know what that's doing in my pocket. I think I dropped it. I just did a video on the inch bag series, and I think that fell out. So that's never in my pocket. I always have this piece of rope or a piece of rope like it, about 6 to 10 foot. I usually wind it up and just tie it in one knot, and that goes in my right pocket with my phone. my knife. I've always got a pocket blade. We dug in the garden with this one, so it's got dirt all over it. But some type of clip blade, what's it called? A pocket clip knife, always for years has been in on the right pocket. So that, my phone, and a little piece of rope, always, no matter what. Bandana in my right back pocket of some sort. In the wintertime, in the summertime, I actually carry more stuff than I do in the winter because I wear cargo shorts. And so I've got, in this pocket, I've usually got an assortment of things. But all summer, or since I got my dog, I've been using this for a leash. So I keep that in that pocket. I've usually got my earbuds in the other pocket. Usually some little peppers from the garden. No, I don't keep those. The butt paste that I mentioned in the inch bag series that I just did a little bit ago, as far as first aid and hygiene, that's always in my left pocket. I wish they made about a tube about half that size. It used to be a cleansing lotion that I kept in that pocket, and I went to this butt paste. So it's kind of big and bulky, but that's always in my pocket. My earbuds are always in one of those pockets. Billfold, nothing much to tell you about that. Standard wallet. I've always got a multi-tool on of some sort. It's been the Wave for years, or Leatherman, I should say, either the Surge or the Wave. But I got fed plumb up to my eyeballs with that Wave and went to this Victorinox. It's just, we won't go into depth. It's got the driver set. Since we are talking EDC though, I do want to point out what's with it. It's got the driver, the complete driver kit with it. That's pretty handy. Not that I use it very much, but I have used it, and it can be handy to have. If I've already got the multi-tool on me, I don't see anything wrong with having a few extra tools. Corkscrew and whatever that thing is. Oh, a little tiny bit for your eyeglasses. So there's that. I carry a spare mag over on my left side. So I've got my multi-tool, which rides kind of in the front and off to the side. Spare mag that's in this area somewhere on this. This is my left side. And then on my fanny pack, when I'm wearing it, is either out front here for all the world to see, or it's slid around. And this is the problem. I just put this back on after doing the other video. It slid around and rides back on my butt back there. So one or the other. So there's the fanny pack. We'll go into that, but while we're at it, the spare mag, multi-tool, that's how it rides. That's how it all rides. I carry a Glock 26 today. It would either be a 19 or a 26 with me all the time. That's at about 4 o'clock. I have carried appendix, and I actually like carrying appendix, but the amount of work that I do is just, I know people will argue with me and get ticked off when I say this. I don't see how anybody does a whole lot of physical labor carrying appendix, or with a fanny pack, either one. This stuff gets in the way when I'm working. I have to slide this stuff over to the side and either take this off or slide it around back. You can't do construction where, I don't care. Get mad if you want. Go out and lay block, pour concrete, and frame up a house with a fanny pack on, or with a Glock 19 sitting here on your stomach. And I've had that argument, and people have got mad and said, don't tell me what I can do and what I can't do. Fine, if you can, that's great. More power to you. But I can't. It's in the way. It's uncomfortable. So I say I don't believe it. I don't believe you can do it. I got to keep my firearm. It's in the way enough when I'm doing stuff. As far as, I mean, I've gotten used to it through the years, but this amount of gear, it can get really cumbersome and irritating on you all the time. So that's that. That's where I cover. There's my gun. This is my right side. This is what it looks like when I've got this Fanny. I usually I'll cover my spare mag up, leave that exposed, and that's it. Before I go into the fanny pack, I'll say that I wear suspenders. I've worn suspenders now for several years. I just got to keep my pants. I don't have a butt. I don't have much of a butt, and I got to keep my pants up. And so I've wore suspenders underneath my t-shirts. You can see them sometimes; they show, but it makes a big difference. And the whole thing can be kind of cumbersome, but I've gotten to where it works for me. I know I'm cutting off my head, but I'm trying to let you see. Like I said, I want to show where all this stuff is. So fanny pack, I do not wear it all the time. I'm not claiming that I do. I've went back and forth with this thing, and I think a fanny pack I think it's great, but it's just in the way and cumbersome, and so I've been back and forth as far as carrying one. I do carry one a lot, but not all the time. What's in here is some of this stuff is what would end up back in my pockets if I didn't carry this. So I'm going to go through everything as quick as I can. I've got a tube of crazy glue. I've got Tucks, tube of Tucks. If you don't know what that is, I guess it doesn't matter. I've got one of those little cheap cans, first aid deals, Band-Aids in it. I usually would keep Band-Aids just stuffed in one of these pockets in here, but I found this one in my truck the other day and I just stuffed it in there. So I've been keeping that in here as well. Little small roll of tape. I'll sit this stuff down here where I can get a shot of it after I do all this. Little pill fob. It's got, I think, ibuprofen in it. No, those are extra strength Tylenol or one or the other. I can't remember. Lip therapy, Vaseline. I've got a little sewing kit. I just showed you the one that's in my pocket. I've got this little sewing kit also that's well, for pretty much anything, leather, and as well as inside here, it's got an assortment of larger needles. Well, I say assortment. There's 2 large needles in there. I thought I had more in there at one time, and no, this doesn't. I just pulled this out of one of my other kits and put this in there. So this is more of a recent thing that I got out when I was doing a sewing up Caroline's sandal the other day when I did that video. I had pulled this out of one of my other kits and decided to go ahead and put it back in my fanny pack. But this is usually with me if I've got the fanny pack. Carmex, triple antibiotic ointment, Blistex. Some of this stuff is overkill that this ends up being a catch-all. When something's laying around or I left in my truck or it ends up just kind of in this fanny pack. Tylenol. I've got a little light, a little cheap light that I got at I forget where I got it the other day, but I saw a guy mounting a little light on his watch band, and I thought it was cool, and I bought this and tried to do it, and it ended up being too bulky. I've got those packets that I just did in the inch video, the sinus relief, and I've got anti-diarrhea stuff in here also. Right there. I'll put those back while I'm at it. I've got Balinol hygienic cleansing lotion. That's for your butt. That's good stuff for your butt right there. And down here in a little pocket, there's some more Band-Aids. Like I said, I usually just carry Band-Aids in this pocket. A couple safety pins. I usually keep a safety pin on my hat. We're getting there. And I leave this pocket mostly free for, I'm just drawing a blank, nitrile gloves. I've got 2 pair here, 4 nitrile gloves. I usually got at least a couple pair in there, and that's just quick, easy access. I could use this pocket for some other things, but I've found that when I try and stuff other stuff in with those, or stuff these back to this main pocket, that they just get in the way and things start coming out when I pull out the pair of gloves. So I keep those by themselves in this pocket. All I got to do is unzip and grab them. So I think that's pretty much it as far as the fanny pack. And I usually have a pair of readers on me. I don't hardly wear sunglasses at all. I'm almost always wearing a hat. I know I'm missing something. Usually when I do a pocket dump for Facebook or something, I'll do a pocket dump and then realize that I forgot half the stuff that I had on me. But that's pretty much it. I went through it pretty quick. I wanted to be pretty thorough, but like I said, I wanted to get where it's carried. Now, I guess I should say if I'm not wearing this fanny pack, I mean, it's just, that's it. That's usually what I've got going on. I've got the suspenders, the multi-tool, and my extra magazine. Everything else is well, what I showed you that's in my pockets will be on me every day. The fanny pack stuff, if I do away with it, I would grab maybe the triple antibiotic ointment, and that's really probably about it that was in there. I'll keep some nitrile gloves. As far as a tourniquet, that's one thing I wanted to mention. I used to carry a tourniquet. It's in my other pack. I've got several of them, but I actually decided that, where'd it go? You can use several things for a tourniquet. This little piece of rope. I know you don't want to go a single strand around your arm or your leg, but you can wrap this if you were to use this for a tourniquet. I usually keep a loop on it like that, because sometimes I use this for my dog leash. But if you were to use this for a tourniquet, you would do this number, and just for purposes of showing you, you're going to cinch down on it, and then you would wrap this around right next to each other several times. And so it wouldn't be one strand on you, as they say. So there's your tourniquet right there, and just tie it off. So you would have that, that's about an inch wide right there. So that's why I don't carry any of the actual tourniquets anymore. I know they say you can use a belt, and I don't have any problem with that. Well, I don't have any problem with it, but I don't see that as a real great option. It is an option, no doubt about it, but I would use this before I would take my belt off. But that's that. So there you go. There's the EDC video I've been wanting to do. I'm running almost 19 minutes, and I can only do 15-minute videos. So how do I chop this down and get it all in one video? I don't know, but it may be that I end up booting it off as well. So there you have it. Thanks for watching, and see ya. Hey, you ready to go home? You ready to go? Let's go eat.